quite natural and understandable that in this age of the internet, particularly for younger users who are used to just typing in a few words into Google and then getting all sorts of interesting results, that you would come to somebody who you think has the answers and put a comment to try to get those. But if you're doing that, you're probably circumventing the very process that ideally, I don't know if your professor is any good or not, or if the test that you're studying for is really about that, but ideally you should be acquiring that knowledge yourself. And there's something to be said for going through the work to develop that knowledge in your own head rather than simply, say reading Wikipedia articles or asking people very quick questions that they might answer or might not. So you don't want to deprive yourself of that. It's very important, especially when you are a student and have the luxury of taking classes with people, that you make use of what's available to you and that you develop these research skills, because they're not just going to be useful for academic research, they're going to be useful for the rest of your life. It's common enough for students to feel a bit overwhelmed, particularly when they're approaching philosophy, especially if it's for the first time, when they're given difficult questions to answer from an instructor or when they're prepping for some sort of test, whether that's in a class or A-levels in Britain or the IAS in India, any of those sorts of things. It's natural to feel a little overwhelmed because philosophical concepts are difficult, but they're not beyond any average student. You can, in fact, develop a grasp of them that's sufficient for the people who want these answers to come back from you. And the more that you understand it, the better your answer is going to be. So it's important that you take a step back and you say, I think I can actually handle this, and if I can't, I need to do something a bit more substantive than just throwing questions out there onto the internet and hoping that somebody will come along and provide me with an answer. Because, quite frankly, how do you know that the answers that you're getting are actually on track if you don't know enough about the topic? Another thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to those who are providing answers, like myself, and it's understandable that you would post questions on my videos because I do in fact talk about a lot of different topics in philosophy, those of us who are working at a fairly high level and have a lot of background and expertise to draw upon are usually pretty busy. So, if I were to try to answer every single question that gets put to me, I would require more than the 24 hours that I have in a day. So I frequently don't address things that look like people just looking for homework answers or test prep answers. If you're looking for a substantive engagement on my part in answering your questions of these types, then you probably want to consider booking me for a tutorial session, like what my other clients do. My time is in short supply and is valuable, and the expertise that I have to bring can be very helpful for you, not only in dealing with whatever individual question you have, but in understanding where it fits into the wider realm of philosophy. But, I can only do so much of that. I already do answer questions in my AMAs, other online events. I do, in fact, address quite a few questions and queries on social media and YouTube. So what you want is somebody to walk you through the stuff and help you understand it, consider the tutorial sessions. Otherwise, good luck with what you're doing, and I think, just keep plowing away at it, and you will find answers that work for you, and you want to keep them up here in your own mind so that you're developing as a person through the assignments or the test questions that are being assigned to you.